Here we go. So this is a talk about a subject that I dearly love. It's called Life Reset Time. So we're going to talk today and open up and look at the words reset. Because when we reset, in my situation anyway, we become renewed. Well, that's what I've seen for 22 years with people. And then you receive the very thing that you actually wanted comes effortlessly. And you're content. If it doesn't, what you wanted before doesn't matter anymore. There's this contentment and this peace. And as someone just shared, a calm. So let's look at the word reset. And I was thinking about the word reset. Just think what it actually means to you for a moment. What does reset mean to you? It's a pretty hard sort of word. I prefer new beginnings, but the word reset came to me, so I used it. What does it mean to you? For me, it spoke of finding a reset. So I have to reset something in me. If I don't like where I'm at and what's happening, I have to reset my mind, first of all, because your life is what your thoughts make it, as you know. And when I do that, and I'm going to show you how in a moment, if I reset my mind and it's reset on the path of life, then I will feel refreshed. I am refreshed. I feel light, free. I feel, in the words freedom, I mean, I'm not waiting on something to happen, or I'm not waiting for someone to change. I'm not waiting for them to reset their lives, for me to be happy. Because if I've heard one thing over and over again lately, is that one young couple have said to me, oh, I'm trying to make him happy, and he's trying to make me happy, and we're both unhappy. So they need a reset. Personally, in my case, when I was trying to, or believing, and this is believing, that, you know, when I got married, my husband would make me happy. Not true. We have lots of pleasures together. We have beautiful times together, and we have ups and downs and our breakdowns and our breakthroughs. This is a journey of life. But we're journeying together. And I've given up. I've given him up in the sense that he's responsible to make me happy. It's a huge burden. That's a reset. That's a new path for me. I have to go on to a new path and a refocus. And look, as much as you know it and I know it, and we've heard it over and over again, I was reminded that seek your happiness in me, and I will give you your heart's desires. Now, I've heard that for 40 years more, but I really only just got it the last 5 years. And I'm only really just choosing, and it's a choice over and over again, day by day, to make the one who created me, who is love, peace, never alters, is always present within us, to sink back into his presence, to make him fill up that space of emptiness, or that space where I want happiness. And I find it's more of a contentment now. It's that more of a peace, but that makes me happy. So I have to reset my focus. Where do you have to reset? Where are you for today? Where are you at right now in your life? Who are you, or what are you hoping for to make you happy? Just think about that. What has to happen, or do you think has to happen? And you think, oh, then I can relax, and then I'll be happy, then I'll be at peace. when. And for me, what I see is an image of a string tied to that person, that situation. Of course, it'll be lovely when that changes, but it's not it's not my first port of call. My first port of call has to reset my focus and my mind on the one who is the source of all wisdom and all life. And I know that's heavy level stuff, but you can experience it. And we show you how, over and over again for 22 years, with hundreds of people. They come as they are. He shows them how they are. And usually it's ugly, frustrated, angry, full of rage, resentment, feeling not good enough, frustrated. They're all the feelings and all the beliefs that I'm not good enough. It's my fault. I'm responsible. And then all the roles we take on. I'm responsible to make it all right. I've got to make up. I've got to get it right. Repeated habits. We keep repeating old habits and we get the same result. They're all the blocks. So if we feel any of those sort of things, the way, and I'll keep repeating it through this sharing, is we need to go back to, okay, right now, as a result of that person not being how I want them to be, that situation, the world not being how I want it to be, despite me not knowing where I'm going, what path I'm going on, how does that make me feel? It's not pleasant, but the wonderful counselor will show you. If you just honor yourself, this is I think over the years, dear Lord, I've realized how patient He is, because so many of us don't sit and get present to ourselves now in the present moment and surrender where we're at and acknowledge where we're at. And then surrender into deep within us, beyond all of that, as we let go of it, is already deep peace, deep serenity and clarity. And then we set other people, the strings are all cut. The other people are set free. And as he said to me, I know I've shared this, but it's just profound. It keeps coming back to me. This is another reset. So I can be renewed. I have to get out of the way. And what he showed me is this. There's the problem. There's me. You can see the cross above. I'm praying to him for all these situations in the world, for people around me, situations that are unresolved, that are in pain. And one day he said to me very firmly but lovingly, get out of the way, Helen. So I had to get out of, this is me. I had to get out of the way. Here are the situations, problems, things that tend to get my focus, the world. And then 2 weeks later, he said to me, now come up beside me. Come up beside me and focus on, seek your happiness. Focus on me first. Tell me all about it. Unburden yourself. Empty so I can feel you, and do not go back here and here and get stuck, focused here, trying to fix it up. Because that's what happens. You bang your head against the brick wall. Has anyone noticed that? Sometimes? And then you get frustrated because you can't do it. That's usually the self, the ego doing that. So we have to surrender and go, well, I can't, but you can. But I just want to listen to you. Those who love me, listen to me. I just want to listen to you. And I want your divine will in today, in the moments of today. And I want your love to flow through me. So they benefit not just me, but they benefit everyone around me. If we just focus on that, and then we would use our gifts and talents, then we would come back here and we wouldn't be doing this. We would just be sitting there and listening with our ears open to these people and doing the same thing with them, to all of their feelings and their thoughts, and then bringing them up here to the cross, to Jesus, to the presence of the Spirit, and getting them to listen to him, because that's where light and transformation happens. Listen to me. And then they're free, and they kind of become light. They all say, I feel lighter, freer, emptier. It's just so much better. So have you got the one area in your life that you'd like to reset? What's the area where you're stuck, trapped, frustrated, angry? Is it yourself? Is it about where you want to go? Is it about something? Is it that you're focused and concerned about the world? Because again, anxiety and concern, what does he say about that? Those who love me, listen to me. He says, be anxious about nothing. This is an instruction from wisdom himself. Be anxious about nothing. But we all get there. We all get it. So we need to come back again up to the cross, where we receive the beauty of his presence. And then things change. And even if they don't, he's got them in hand. Anyway, I've really, the keys that I'm saying here for you now. But the other thing I want to ask you, are you open to changing? Because when we come and we want things differently, are we open to letting the divine counselor reveal anything that's blocking us from here? Are we ready to come as we are and let him bring up whatever we need to do to empty so that he can fill a space? Are we open to changing ourselves before we try and change anyone else or the world? Are we open? Because what I've done with these encountering ministries over the years and the team is that what we do is we have 3 years. You have to be open to listening to the person who comes, and we have to also be listening to the Spirit, hopefully, who's speaking to us, who is wisdom. So that's two types of listening, and then we get them to listen to the Spirit of truth and love, because I can't change them. Only I can suggest things, I can share things, but it's for everyone to change themselves. But we're enabled and empowered and refreshed, renewed and empowered. When you are weak, then I am strong. That's when his power has come into my life, when I've been at my most broken, when I've been at my worst. Are you open to changing? Listen to yourself. Changing you before you try to change others. The other question is, and this is really self-knowledge, because if you've got self-knowledge, you can be empowered to reset, to change. You can reset your ways. Am I reacting or am I responding to situations? And reacting would mean, if you're reacting, then you would be feeling, the feelings would indicate. We only use feelings, they're a pointer to the truth. If you're reacting, then bet your bottom dollar you're enraged, angry, frustrated, powerless, sad, all of those feelings I've heard over the years when people have come to me because they're stuck and trapped. And more often than not, they go back to times in their life as children when they've experienced them. And when something in this is scientifically proven by some amazing figures, it's in my book. And when people are like that, if they only react, they will get the opposite of what they hope for. You will get frustration from others. You will close doors with others. Whatever you give out, you get back. It's in giving that you receive both the positive or the negative. So this is why it's called agape encounter. It's unconditional love. People come here and they come as they are, so they don't dump on others. So they don't project on others so they don't react. I had a situation this morning, and it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. I'm not into the right or wrong anymore. I'm just about learning. And as a result of what happened, and it doesn't matter what happened right now, what mattered is that normally I would have reacted. I would have got incensed, hurt. I would have felt a whole lot of negative feelings, but I was present to the presence, as Carmel said, the calm within me. And I just thought, I just got a sense of clarity at that moment that this wasn't mine. This belonged to the other person. And that's not blaming them, it's not judging them. I feel compassion. So are you reacting in your life? Because you'll get back what you are. Are we, and reacting also is, another, it's huge as far as resetting. We're called to respond to wisdom within us. What would you have us do now? And you listen. If you get nothing, you do nothing. And I used to be caught up with, I was going to be available for everyone that was broken in the world. That he wanted me to be available to. But what I didn't realise is that I was very much forefront. And then I had actually said the words, and the words have power. I had to change my words. I had to reset my words. My words were, I'll be there for all the broken now. When a particular ministry was closed down, then I'll be available for all the broken. And years later, after being bombarded with, that's not a good word, just being overwhelmed by so many broken, I thought, what's going on here? Because I was getting exhausted, tired, trained, etc. Even though it was the spirit guiding a lot of it, but I'm human. So I said, show me. What do you want to show me? So this is about asking and listening. And I got a reminder of what I'd said, and our words have power. And what we say is what we get. So be careful what you say. I had to reset my words, and my words became, I just got this revelation, this understanding, this clarity. It was very humbling. No, I'll be available for those you want me to be available for. It's not about me. It's about your will, which is loving, wise, and balanced and guided. Well, everything became balanced and ordered. And I've noticed as I observe my life now, the balance and the order between rest and helping people and agape, it's just come. Now, am I trying to do it? No, I'm just thanking him that I listen to his guidance and I listen to the prompting instead of being responsible. Now, the word responsible needs to be reset when we take on the role of being responsible, like I just said, for all the broken. Who are you taking responsible for? Is it heavy? Is it burdensome? Do you get sick of it? Then maybe what I've seen over the years, a lot of people feel like, and they've believed at some time in their life, it's my fault, I'm responsible. And what they do is unconsciously, not knowingly, to make up for it, become responsible to make it all right, to make their children's lives all right, to make the broken all right, to fix it really, to be there. And even though we ask God, we're going to be there, but we've taken on this role rather than being our authentic self. And that role gets overwhelmed, burdened, and in the end, a lot of people burn out and become resentful. So you know that you're in your role and that's it. And the roles need to be reset. You know what I do with the roles? The roles are, I don't know if this speaks to you or not, but you know when you're in control, you grit your teeth, was guarding, protecting, and your shoulders go up. That's part of my responsibility. When I'm like that, I go, hon, you're not responsible, step back. I just do self-talk. That's the way out. Just gently. In control, you're dictating, you're controlling, you're telling people what to do, you're not listening. Not listening, because that's where the power is. And accepting them as they are, which is, this is all, that's what you're doing with yourself, then you'll be able to do it. That's a reset. from control to just listening and listening together, you and the wisdom, to the person, to the ugliness. I told you for 2 years, my teenage daughters, who I love to bits, went through this state, as all teenagers do, and of course I have to learn to let go as well. And one of the greatest lessons I ever learned, and I shared this with someone recently who's having a lot of problems, and they went, oh, that is so good. And see, people are unaware of it. I was unaware of it. And so one day, because I was spending time being still, and so I was tuned in, I asked them, do you just want me to listen as a mother, or do you want me to say something? For 2 years I just want you to listen. So you know how you all listen to people, and you probably listen and listen and listen, and particularly teenagers and children. So where's your responsibility here? Well, first of all, let me ask you this question. I became aware there was no point in me saying things to what they were saying if they weren't going to listen. So I had to first listen to them and wait until they were ready to listen. Otherwise, I'm wasting my breath and I'm getting frustrated. That does not build healthy relationships. That's control too. It's what I want. I want to tell them. I want to show them the path. Of course, when it's really serious, you need to do that and give them. And what I like to say is the word sharing. Can I share? This is what I would do. 2 years passed and they came to me and said, Mum, da 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 da. And I just said, so listen, or do you want me to give you some? Mum, I want you to tell me what to do. So when you listen long enough, I realised later, you develop respect. Respect. You're not there to fix them up, because I used to have an agenda. I was there to help them encounter God and help them to get healed and all of this. I'm there to listen first, but not listen just with my ears. Listen to the one that's within me and just say, don't let me say anything or do anything. I want to be one with you and your wisdom. And sometimes you've got to listen, as I just said, for a long time until they're open to listening to you. But you can ask questions. Would you like me to help you? Or do you want me just to listen? That's a reset. And it renewed our relationship. And it refreshed me. And it stopped me getting anxious and stopped me from getting anxious because I give it straight back. I'd go with my frustration because obviously I had frustration because I wanted to say something. I'd go straight back and deal with my feelings, straight away acknowledge them. And I thought, and of course I was in the way. I was in the way again. Remember the cross? I was here and here was the situation and I was in the way. I just had to get out of it and go up here again to the cross. I didn't know I was going to do that. That's rather a lovely little demonstration there with the cross there. And the cross is pure and unconditional love. So I don't know whether I want to ask you anymore because there's a fair bit there. What you want to change? Do you know what you want to reset in your life? Because if you don't know, then that's the first question. And the next question is to discover how you feel so you get unblocked. Is say, what if that never happened? If that change never happened, what if it never happened? You ask the divine counsel. This is profound. What if it never happened? Then we face our deepest fears. What if it never happened? What if the girls never wanted to listen to me? I would get anxious and worried that they're on the right path. So that's all fear-based. Anxious, worry, fear. I needed to go back until I got peace and I let go. It's letting go of control and learning to trust. Becoming my own best friend and encourager. I had to talk to my role parts, my responsible parts, the parts when I got in control and parts I wanted to fix things and say, no, we're not going to do that. That's the part that becomes the observer, my spiritual self. We're going to stand back. I'll give you a hug. We're out of the way. Let's just stand back. Are you in the way? Are you all the time trying to fix it? Do you get frustrated? You need to choose to take a different path. You've got to choose to reset your pattern. You go say, no, I'm going to change. I'm going to listen. Listen to people. I'm going to listen to wisdom, and I'm going to let him guide me step by step. Then you receive. In the end, I've got this wonderful relationship with the girls where I'm still listening and I'm waiting. And more often than not, they still don't want to hear much I have to say. But I know that there's a respect there. And when they do want me to get my opinion, they come and ask me. So I just have to trust. And there's stories going on in our head, and I want to finish with this. What are the stories going on your head? I used to have lots and lots of stories going on in my head. What's the story going on in your head? It's that thing that plays over and over and over again that comes from your feelings and beliefs and your past. Oh, no one loves me. Oh, I'm an outcast. No one will ever be there for me. It's my fault. I'm responsible. I deserve this. Stories. That's our thinking as a result of the feelings and what happened, maybe projected on us, maybe the abuse that we've suffered. I'm shameful. It's my fault. I must have done something. Oh my God, have I heard that over and over again? And I just say, just listen to wisdom after they've emptied, because they need to reconnect to themselves. What's the story you play over and over again in your head? What's the thing you keep hearing? It'll never change. What's that one story? Listen. Take that story, those thoughts captive, and go back to wisdom and saying, well, this is what I'm thinking. What do you say? And wait and listen. If you can't hear, just say what I do. If there's anything blocking, let me know. Otherwise, I just sit and wait. And I just say thank you. I walk on water in faith. Thank you for revealing what you want me to reveal. Thank you for showing me I claim that's faith before I experience. I claim before I experience. That's a reset. That's a reset. It refreshes and renews us. The burden's gone. The roles stepping back, getting out of the way. And the gift of grace, which enables us. And I know this grace is a gift. It's not earned. We don't have to do it right, pray for so many hours, do this, do that, whatever. We just have to listen. What does he want us to do today? It varies for me day to day. But I want to learn, and I'm learning and I'm practicing the presence of God in the moments every day, and how to be that presence to people out in the world, because they're not willing to listen to being preached at, but they're happy for me to listen to them. And I noticed as I listen to them, they let their guard down. And as I let their guard down, I can sense a closeness happening. And one particular day, just recently, a guy let his guard right down. I felt quite emotional as I shared it, because I didn't even know it was going to happen. And he just let his guard down as I listened to all the problems with his wife and how he felt. And then suddenly he started sharing about his childhood. And he said, the little boy, oh, my heart was just so present to him, but I just kept listening. I kept being present, and I heard him. I heard what he was feeling. I heard what he was saying. I didn't try to change it. And he already got the answer. He said, that little boy within me needs a hug because of the abuse. My job had been done. He got present to himself. Okay, I feel like I've done enough. And it's well and truly time. So just take one. What's the one thing that the Spirit is asking you to take on today? Is it the stories in your head? You may have even got it now. Just stop and listen. And just listen, step back. I ask you, Spirit of life, wisdom, what is the one thing you're asking? As you taught me, you are the greatest teacher. Teach them. What is the one thing that you want them to reset in their lives? so they can be refreshed and renewed. Just listen. Listen. And the thing that's coming to me right now, they are saying, is often straight after you listen, there'll be a doubt. It's normal. I count 0 to 10, it's a 3, it's 11. But it actually acts as a block. So he says, when you pray, do not doubt, but believe. Believe what you're hearing. Respond, don't react, respond to it. And see the transformation that starts to happen and the people you attract in your life. You're on an adventure. You're not about getting it right or wrong. This is me. You're about learning. Join me and join Agape, the journey of learning and growing and being authentic and being real, being present to ourselves so we can be there present to others, but more than that, present to the one who's already winning us. He just wanted to give us a hug every day. He just wants to touch those areas that get bruised every day, those parts of us that get whatever happens because of the world the way it is, we often absorb and take on. Just be present to yourself, to others, but most of all present. The presence is one is the greatest healer of all, the one who lives within us, who wants to increase so that we, our bruised, burden part, just decreases and actually dissolves in the end when we come into the light. Thank you for listening.